Keir Starmer's government is lying to you. They have claimed that the government is not exporting F-35 parts directly to Israel.
Where we are directly selling F-35 parts to Israel, where we were selling parts directly, that is now suspended.
According to damning new evidence, this is a lie. This new evidence shows that the government is still directly exporting components for F-35 fighter jets to Israel, which are dropping 2,000-pound bombs, slaughtering people in Gaza at this very moment. The government is not just complicit in the war crimes and genocide taking place in Gaza, it is an active participant. David Lammy, the Foreign Secretary, pretends that the weapons we are selling to Israel are being used for defensive purposes.
Much that we send is defensive in nature. It's not what you would describe routinely as arms.
But this report shows that that is categorically untrue. The government deliberately shrouds this issue in secrecy, but the new report uncovers the scale of goods being sent to Israel, over 160,000 military goods. The government has lied to Parliament and to the public.
We continue, as I've said, to do all we can to support the people of Gaza.
David Lammy is lying to you. Every bomb dropped, every person killed bears the stain of British support. This isn't a crisis. It is genocide. It is extermination. And those aren't my words, but the words of the UN Commission of Inquiry. In response to the public's demands for a full arms embargo, Keir Starmer's government announced a 10% ban on arms exports going to Israel, citing that there was a clear risk that they could be used in violations of international humanitarian law. That is why they claimed to stop exporting component parts for F-35 fighter jets, described as the most lethal fighter jet in the world by its own manufacturer. 15% of every F-35 is built here in the UK. Without this critical support, these lethal fighter jets would not be flying in the air, dropping 2,000-pound bombs, burning civilians alive. By the government's own admission, shipping these components to Israel presents a clear risk of violating international law. This Labour government is lying to all of us and making our country complicit in genocide and war crimes. And they will be in court on this very issue next week, with the legal challenge being brought by Al-Haq and Glan over ongoing arms sales to Israel, breaching both the UK's domestic and international obligations. Our government is willing to burn international law and undermine international institutions to protect Israel.
We stand with Israel and we recognise her right to self-defence.
We are repeatedly told that there isn't money to end child poverty, to stop pensioners from freezing in their homes, to provide disabled people with support. But there is a bottomless pit of money for defence and logistical support for Israel's genocide in Gaza, including RAF surveillance. We are witnessing the first live stream genocide on our TVs and our phones. This is changing the world. It is telling us that international law doesn't mean anything. It's telling us that people can be killed with impunity and the world will look the other way, and that free speech is only free speech for some. In the UK, protests in solidarity with Palestine are being cancelled, and Holocaust survivors are being interviewed by the police for attempting to put down flowers in the memory of dead children in Gaza. If only all the energy being used by politicians and our media to attack musicians who dare to speak up against the genocide in Gaza was actually used to hold politicians to account. The same politicians that are selling arms to Israel and providing diplomatic cover to a state that is on trial at the ICJ under the Genocide Convention, a state whose military and political leaders have ICC arrest warrants issued against them, a state that has killed over 20,000 children. History will judge those who have perpetrated the genocide against the Palestinian people and every single person that has facilitated it. The vast majority of the British public are on the right side of history. They want an arms embargo and they want the British government to stop facilitating genocide. It's time to listen to the voice of the British people. No more lies. The British government must end all arms sales to Israel now. The mainstream media is doing a pathetic job holding the government to account. That's why it's so important to support independent media like Double Down News, who do an amazing job in holding power to account. So if you can, please support them on Patreon.